Hey everyone, it's Matt again with another video, and today we are going to be continuing with part 2 of the 1969 Oldsmobile build. So this is what we have here so far. What we have is the upper and lower control arms in, we have the new spring in, we have a new shock absorber in, new tie rod end, we have our knuckle put on. We've straightened it up as much as we can right now. We got the plate here, we got the brake cylinder, and unfortunately, when I did try to film this, what happened was this light here was getting in the way, but the guy who was helping me kind of needed the light, so unfortunately that kind of washed out a lot of the footage. And some other bits of the footage, what happened was with one of the lights like this one getting pulled around, what happened was it kind of moved the tripod a little bit and it ended up pointing it at a box. So unfortunately that's what happened, and I can't really do too much about that, unfortunately. But like I said, we have the upper control arm put in, the lower control arm put in. The spring was a nightmare. It took 3 hours to figure out how to get this thing in, purely because the clearance, like I wish I could show it to you, but the clearance for it is so small, and the spring compressor, I actually have two different spring compressors that I was using, and the smallest one I got, actually kind of get one of them here. This is kind of the smallest one lowest profile one I could find. I had to borrow this from my friend's wife's father, who is a heavy-duty mechanic, and even they were almost too big. They had genuine issues with clearance once you got everything kind of cinched up with the jack to seat the spring. And it got to the point where we had to almost remove the spring entirely just to reposition things so that we could actually take the compressor out. But after fighting with that for 3 hours, put in the shock absorber. We put it behind here is the steering knuckle, which is hooking up to the tie rod end here. I haven't greased anything yet. I'm kind of waiting until I get the brakes, the drums put back on, and then I can go around and grease everything and make sure all the nipples are on there. Pull out the grease gun wherever I put that. With the front bearing here, the bearing, I have a new one, but I need something to pack it with grease. I need to get some brake fluid because, while we're doing all this stuff, might as well change the fluid. Nothing, too wrong with that. What else? I guess after this side, we move on to the passenger side and kind of rinse and repeat the same thing. But I'll try to get more footage of me doing the actual restoration of the components, because a lot of these components I cannot find to save my life. The upper and lower control arms, when I started this project, I couldn't find anything. And I mean, there was not even ultra high performance, super expensive stuff to pick from. There wasn't cheap stuff. There was nothing. Nothing fit this. It's a GMB body platform, and apparently there is no crossover components for Chevys, Pontiacs, Buicks, nothing. I could be completely wrong in this, but in my immediate research, that's what I found. Yeah, so another thing so what I was able to get new was some bushings, some bearings, the lower, what's the name of it? Ball joint, sorry. Yeah, the lower ball joint I was able to pick up from someone. The upper ball joints right here, those are as rare as hen's teeth, apparently. And I was lucky enough to get a driver's side and a passenger side as new old stock from a gentleman I ran into on a Oldsmobile forum. I kind of talked about my plight there, and the guy piped up and said he had one on the shelf, and I'll happily take it because I could not find those anywhere. And replacing those involved drilling out the old ones and boring holes and then bolting them into place. So it was a headache, but I got it in and it looks great. This shield here, couldn't find that anywhere, so I had to refurbish the part. The actual drum, can't find that anywhere either, so I had to refurbish that. Luckily for me, the inside barely had a groove in it, so I'm sure it might have had service sometime maybe in the 70s or 80s for that, because I would doubt it's the original one based on the lack of wear, but I could be entirely wrong. But when I did drive this thing, it had absolutely no issues stopping, so I'm just going to chalk it up to they're not the original drums and they were replaced long ago. Yeah, all we have left to do now is hook up all the springs and whatnot with the pads. Yeah, that involves, all these little thing right here. Get that all hooked up. Put on the hub, sorry, put on the the drum, sorry. Bolt the wheels on, and this side should be good to go. And then we can finally start working on the other side. And that'll be it for the front, and then eventually I gotta work on the back and do things like replace all of the U-joints in the differential. It's there, they're not too hard to do, might as well do it, right? And I was having a chat with my friend here who was helping me with this. Sometimes you can buy the non-greasable ones for $5 less, and when you're doing this kind of stuff, like, why not spend the extra $5? Like, I don't get it. I would just pay the extra $5. Like, if I could have found all brand new parts for this, I would have done that. But again, just like if anyone watching this knows of a place to buy, well, kind of irrelevant now because I'm not gonna put other stuff on the other side and this stuff on this side. So yeah, no, I guess if just by chance, if anyone who's watching this knows of a place that does sell stuff that fits a 1969 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Custom, please put it in the comment section, because if some other people who are having the same problem as me might come across this video and be super grateful. So yeah, so that's all I have to say about this, and I will now tell you about one other nice thing that I'm pretty proud about. So the other thing I'm really proud about is the fact that as of today, when I'm filming this with you here, the channel has officially reached 100 subscribers. And it's something I'm really proud about. It's something I never expected would happen. Just me doing stuff with my job and doing stuff with my own personal stuff now. Yeah, I'm super appreciative. I'll keep trying to pump out more content as I can. But yes, to everyone who has subscribed, thank you very much for helping me to get to this milestone. And to those of you who are out there seeing this for the first time, consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and as always, have a good one.